Monsieur Pete, thank you very much for that epic intro. And welcome back.
Try my best.
Everybody to Andertons TV, where today's video is brought to you by the wonderful people at Victory Amplification and their new monstrous V4 guitar amplifier, Kraken in a box. The Kraken V4 guitar amp.
And if the Kraken was here today, it would go and then ask you to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Who knew that the Kraken made the noise like a cow?
Does it do that or does it go, oh? I don't know.
I don't know. Does it make any noise?
Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos on Andertons TV.
Well, it makes some.
Possibly.
It must make some kind
There we
of
go.
noise.
There's your first opportunity to post a comment. What noise does the Kraken actually make? So look,
spell it the correct way and you win nothing.
All I know about this particular amplifier at the moment is this is everything. This is the cabinet is plugged directly into this. So this is a powered version of the V4 Kraken preamp.
Oh, not that one. No,
sorry. But we are now going to go over to the wonderful Martin Kidd via the power of Zoom technology to talk to him and ask him a couple of questions about this product. Hey Martin, can you hear us okay?
Yep.
Good.
Denmark, 2 points.
I like the delay on the line. Yeah, absolutely. Have you got the votes from Belarus? No.
Germany, 2 points.
It's good to speak to you, man. So look, obviously we're touching base with you from your home in beautiful Whitstable.
Yeah.
But we've got this crazy V4 powered Kraken thing in front of us. So I want to just start off asking Martin, can you give us, what is the basic overview? What was the design brief behind the V4 powered Kraken?
Honestly, we did the V4 Duchess amp, which was a clean pedal platform idea that you could put that on your pedal board and literally have everything required for a gig in a very lightweight and very compact solution. And as soon as we launched it, that one was now 2020. People were asking me that day, are you going to make a Kraken version? And so that's why this has come about. So briefly, that and basically that's why it now exists. But we, as you can see, it's got some additional features.
So we'll talk about that in a second. So just to be clear, this is the same 4-valve Kraken preamp, but just now with a power module embedded and some cabinet emulated outputs.
Yes.
Okay. Can you just go over again for people not familiar with the V4 stuff? What are the 4 valves that are in those V4 products and as well as this?
So the input stage on all of them is an EC900, which is wired as a triode. It's just a little tiny 7-pin valve, about half the height of a 12AX7. And then the next 3 are an EF91 or CV4014, which are, again, they're a pentode valve, so they're 5 electrodes, but we wire them as a triode. And so that's what the following 3 are after the input stage.
And what do you find? I mean, is there a big tonal difference working with valves like that compared to, traditional 12AX7s, or were you finding, they responded quite similarly?
I think one reason is that we have to step up the voltages for the valves to work, and so we have to step up from something quite low. And with the power amp module, we can use an auxiliary DC supply from the power amp module and step it up a bit. But these valves would probably work, or they do work, slightly better than a 12AX7 at the reduced plate voltages.
So almost like a better solution than using a 12AX7 in a pedal amp kind of product.
Yeah, and also we wanted to be green, as it were.
Oh, are they more environmentally friendly, these valves, are they?
Well, because they've been made, and so we've secured quite a number of them, and otherwise they would probably be end up not being used.
Oh, I see. So right, I understand now. Okay, so look, moving past the valve preamp stage in the V4, it's got a massive ICE power block in there, way bigger than I've seen used in other sort of compact pedal style amplifiers. So its maximum output, I think, is about 200 watts. So why did you go with something as big as that?
If it's going to be part of a fly rig, the problem could be that you might turn up at your venue and the cabinet would be 16 ohms. And unlike a valve amplifier normally has an output transformer and with this, you'll get maximum power at something like 2.7 ohms, but you can easily get the marked 180 watts into 4 ohms. But then that reduces. So at 8 ohms, you're down to something around 90 or 100 watts. And then at 16 ohms, you're down to 45, 50 watts. So if we used a 100 watt module, by the time we're down to say, I don't know, 16 ohms, then you're probably down to 5 watts. And if you use a 50 watt module, you're down to like 12 and a half.
I've seen that on some of the smaller pedal board ones where, again, you look at the spec and you think, wow, if I did use that with a 16 ohm cabinet, I would be down to 10 or 12 watts. And I do wonder at what point you'd feel that the pedal just couldn't produce the kind of volume you needed to.
That's why. That in a nutshell, that's why we just, you could amount of gig volume at any impedance you're likely to come up against when you turn up to the venue.
So the other thing, obviously, that's different on these two V4 is the cabinet emulated outputs. And I can see from looking at the side that you're working with 2 notes on there. So how did that kind of come about, and what other, what's it been like working with 2 notes to add that feature?
2 notes are excellent. They're very, very easily, very easily contactable, accessible, if you will. But as far as I can see, they're probably doing the best cab sims that out of anyone. And there's not lots of people doing these, but I'm keen to work with us too. And so we thought, well, that's a good way to do it, because I think Rabeer's quite a fan as well. And I did involve Rabeer a little bit with the R&D on this amp.
Yeah.
But also you can turn up with a very lightweight solution to a gig where, even if there's no cabinet, if you've got decent monitoring, you can run that unit there with no cabinet.
Yeah.
So you could literally plug it into the PA, and if you've got a monitor where you can hear yourself, then all's good.
Well, I think that makes sense, and I guess the nice thing of working with 2 notes and the way this has been designed with the USB socket on the side is within reason it's going to be updatable as well. So there shouldn't be a sense that this very quickly becomes obsolete. I noticed there's reverb on here, which you don't normally get on the V4 pedals. Is that its own discrete reverb chip, or was that another upside of working with 2 notes?
No, it's its own reverb kit, much the same as the one used on the V4 Duchess.
Well, look, that is useful, and I think we now will just get back into this, plug it in, play around with a bit more of it, and if I have any more questions, I will phone you back. And if you don't hear from me, we've worked it all out. So have a lovely day. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Thank you very much, Martin.
Thanks, Martin.
Okay, well, look, let's get into some tones. But before I do that, I'll tell you the rig that we've got set up here. So, guitar plugged into a tube screamer. You can, of course, use any preamp that you want to, any pedal, sorry, that you want to here. Out the tube screamer into the guitar input on the back of the amp. So this is just like a normal guitar amp input. It's then a 2-channel amplifier, gain 1 and gain 2. Each channel has its own master volume. There is bass, middle, treble, EQ across the top, a reverb control, and then a 2 notes powered emulated cabinet output. On the back, we have got an effects send and return, through which we are using a Strymon El Capistan delay. Of course, you can put whatever you like through it.
Absolutely.
And interestingly, the Strymon is powered. There is a 500 milliamp 9-volt output on the back that you could use a daisy chain to power however many pedals 500 milliamps will power. Then we have the XLR output for the 2 notes emulated output. It then has an unbalanced output that doesn't have the 2 notes emulation on it, so you can just use a separate IR emulator if you want to. Foot switch socket here. If you don't want this on the floor in front of you, let's say you want to put it on top of your cabinet or somewhere else, you can just have a normal foot switch that will do the channel changing and also the reverb on and off. Then speaker output is this one, and as Martin mentioned, we'll give you the full 200 odd watts at 3 or 4 ohms, something like that. Yeah, I can't imagine how painfully loud that would be, but loud. But it was not, we've got to get into our heads here. It's not, they didn't use that to give you the, the idea that you need 200 watts. It was more that, with guitar cabinetry, it's much, much more common to have 16 and 8 ohm guitar cabinets. And I know Martin wanted to find a module that would give you, a good 50 to 100 watts regardless of what cabinet you're using. So that's there.
Yeah.
Then we've got the little 9-volt output that I mentioned. Then we've got the mains powered input. So again, it's quite nice. You don't need to use a little sort of wall wart or anything like that. It's proper IEC cable. Fan on the side, fan input, on the side, which again is switchable. So if you're using it live and loud, have the fan on because, potentially the unit can get hot. Although interestingly, the worst that can happen when it gets overheats is it just thermal cuts out and it needs to get down to a temperature. But you don't want that to happen in the middle of a gig.
Phone. No. I mean, it's not that loud.
I don't know if it's on. Is it? Is it on? It is on.
Yeah,
you're right. It's not very loud.
I turned it on because it was in the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that loud. I don't think. But even this won't pick it up.
No, if it annoys you in a studio or you're in some environment where it is, you can switch the fan off. But as soon as you do switch the fan off, obviously bear in mind that if it's a warm day and you're driving it hard, you might find that it overheats. Then on the top here, we've got the 2 notes output. So if you're familiar with the 2 notes stuff, you can connect via USB to your desktop or laptop. You can have a whole library of a zillion million different IRs. A zillion million.
That's
the latest.
Lot.
And then you choose which 6 you want to embed within the V4 Kraken. And then there's just a 6-way control on the top here. Out the box, it comes with 6 cabinets that I believe Rabir decided he chose.
The wise one.
The wise one. So let's switch. Both the pedals are off here. Yeah. Let's go back. Let's go to channel 1 and let's see the range of gain that we've got on channel 1. And we'll try somehow to see how loud this goes without destroying
my
ourselves. Yes. So here we go. Channel 1 with all the gain. Well, the gain pretty much as low as it'll go.
Very nice reverb.
Yeah.
This guitar as well is an Ibanez AZ.
Can I just...
Sorry.
I think if there's... I know we said we'd do the volume thing, but if there's going to be a volume, or a tone, sorry, where high volume is difficult, it's going to be that super spanky low preamp, isn't it? So let's just see... I don't, let's just... A lot.
That's loud enough.
105.
Loud. Let me go on the back pickup just to see what that does. Yeah, that's loud enough.
Woo! Okay. Woohoo! Okay, you're just hearing mic'd up speaker cabinets now. By the way, I should say. I'll tell you when we're showing you the emulated output. So if you're not familiar with the Kraken, Gain 1 was the more sort of martially rocky kind of sounding. So there isn't really the concept on the Kraken of a real dedicated sparkly clean channel.
No, that is all on here. Rabir uses his pinky.
So here we go. Let's just turn Gain 1 up to say like 10 or 11 o'clock, something like that.
I like this. It's loud, man.
We should say, actually, to be fair, before you dive on out and purchase one of these, it's probably worth actually checking just how much power your cabinet can handle. Right?
That's
so
true.
if you've got a 212 and the 212's at 16 ohms, you'll probably be safe because 16 ohm means you get the lowest output out of this, so you're probably only getting about 60 watts out of this.
60 watts
and
is
B,
a lot, though.
if you've got two 30-watt speakers in a 212, you're fine.
Yeah.
But if you do happen to have one of those unicorn kind of cabs, like a single 112 that runs at 4 ohms, make sure that you've got 200 watt the speaker can handle 200 watts.
Which one did we did in
There
the
is a
speaker? There was
Victory one.
150.
There are some of the Celestion Neo speakers.
Oh yeah, we had the copper one that
Yeah.
was 250 watts.
So
or
they are
something,
4
you need-
ohms. They're designed to be crazy high output single speaker enclosure. But just be careful. I don't know, you might
Yeah.
have some weird, I don't know, speaker cabinet that you've had forever and it happens to be 4 ohms, but maybe it's only got a 50-watt driver in it or something.
Just make
be
sure
careful.
you are careful.
Right, so that was channel 1. Let's go to
that sounds
channel
great.
2, which again, for Kraken fans, you'll know this was more based on the sort of the higher gain 5150 kind of vibe, but we'll start with low gain so you can see.
So I was just using the volume there to...
It's got tons and tons in it. You notice I chucked in the tube screamer. I know it's a classic kind of, modern metal kind of vibe is to use a tube screamer to perhaps tighten up some of that bass end.
Yeah. It sounds great, man. It sounds great.
We haven't put anything above halfway and we're already getting well over 100 dB.
It's loud. It's
on
very
our,
loud in here.
Badly placed decibel meter over there.
Where should we have that? Right in the middle there, something.
Well, I don't even
it
know.
sort of needs to be in the front of the room, really, doesn't it?
It does really.
That's just cheating.
Oh, should we switch to the sim? The
Yeah.
2 notes output.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we do that, Pete?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay, Pete. Should we try the 2 notes output now? Okay, so just to show you that there's no jiggery pokery going on here, there's the speaker lead out.
Jiggery pokery, that's it.
I don't know. Did Martin say his thing? I think he did. So you don't have to run a load on this type of power amp module. That's another kind of thing that people like about this. It's very versatile. So absolutely, you could have this in your studio,
on your
sat
desktop,
on your desktop, no speaker plugged in.
No, beautiful.
So anyway, so here we go. There are 6 simulated presets. They will show on screen now.
Will they?
And I'll just toggle through them. And I'm sure some will sound better with dirty sounds and some will sound better with clean, but we'll just have a little play around on each. So I'll do both tones, like a clean, channel 1 and channel 2 per thing.
And you've got an overall for the sim volume, right? You've got
Yes.
its own volume switch. How cool is that?
Number 3. Well, thank you very much, Pete.
That was on 5, was some of my favourite, I think.
I liked 1 and 2 and 5. Yes,
1 and 2 and 5, yeah.
And so just to clarify, you can run the emulated output and the main speaker out simultaneously. So
Yes,
great
yes.
for, you know, using the speaker output for your on-stage cabinet and the emulated output for the sound person. If you're not, you know, if you're like going, oh no, USB, I don't like it, like that. If you never plug this into a computer, you still get the 6 simulated outputs that come with it, that Rabeer's chosen.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to plug this into a computer. I just think it's a cool little box. I mean, it's
brilliant.
It's pretty compact. I mean, I like this. I know it's a silly feature, like as in it's a bit of a throwaway feature, but I like the fact that you can run 2 or 3 other pedals off the back of the amplifier with like a daisy chain power supply. So you could literally have this on a pretty compact board, maybe a couple of pedals here, one mains lead,
effects loop as well. I like it's got effects loops because you can put your delays and stuff or whatever in there. So, and what price-wise are we talking here, Lee?
Do you know what? I'm glad you asked me that because I'm not sure. I think I might have to cop out and go, it's something around the £800 mark. Okay. 800 to 900 maybe. Okay. Maybe 8 to 850. I'm not sure. But it's made in the UK, kind of full valve complement of preamps. And then, but yeah, check in the links below this video to dive on over to the Andertons website. I believe it's going to be in the shops ready to purchase any day now. As far as I'm aware, in April, May 2021 is when I believe this goes into production.
How quickly has that gone?
I know.
Quarter past a year already, right through it.
Bosh. There we go, look, that's it. Any questions, stick them in the comments section below and we'll do our best to answer them. But thank you very much for watching. I tell you what, Pete, would you just play us out? If I plug you back into the speaker, get you a gain sound, would you just play us out on the old Les Paul?
On the Les Paul, I would love to. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.
Thank you.